are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
And so, you are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia. This is the program that brings you information about Liberia and about Liberians. As you see on your screen, tonight we're going to have a guest, and this guest is from Liberia. I guess you have all of the information. Probably I can make it a little bit, I can zoom it in so that you'll be prepared and settle down for what's going to be unfolding here tonight. And so we're going to have a guest tonight on the show, like I said, and it's going to be interesting. So stay with us, be a part of the program. We will be here to give you the much needed information. Of course, we have a lot of developments from the political circles in Liberia, as well as other interesting topics. My name is Linford Egon Gue, and Jamal Kamara is here with me. Also, Paul Lord Chilople is going to join us later on during the course of the program. So, like I said, it promises to be a very, very interesting event tonight. So stay with us as we take you through this program. We'll be right back after a little break, and then we'll get going.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not come up. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. With their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to grieve? You see, we just tell you. That's why we both tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
Okay. Jamal, will you take down the flyer, please? Okay. Thank you. You know, we have an interesting time tonight. Welcome, Paul. Paul is in a beautiful studio there in Manchester. So, guys, those of you joining us for the first time on the show, is a serious business we do here. We gave our opinions on the issue. We discuss it the way we feel, and we also invite your opinion. You can write in the chat box whichever medium you're viewing from. I see a lot of people logging on here from Jalas TV, so I think it's going to be interesting. And these are people watching directly from Liberia. We want to say thank you very much for joining us. For some of you, this is the first time you heard about this platform. It is called the Bottom Line Liberia. The bottom line of everything that happens in Liberia is discussed here. And like I said, my name is Linford Egon Goer, and Jamal Kamara is there in the UK, and Paul Chiluple is also in the UK. Together tonight, along with our guests, we will be discussing the trending issues in Liberia. Jamal, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. It's good always to be back on the borderline. I've been away like for 2 episodes. I would love to be back and we chat about what's going on in our country as well as in Africa. So nice to see you guys back, guys. Well, thanks for welcoming me.
And Paul, how are you doing?
Well, I'm great. This is the Lord Chilupe in the great city of London. It's good to be back on Borderline. And to our viewers, for those of you who first time joining us, welcome to Borderline Discussion. I'm doing good. How you guys?
Well, as your UK colleague.
I think it's a little bit snow here. It's been snowing here, but very, very not that what? Very heavy compared to your part of the line. Of course, yeah. Manchester not to be Winchester, but today we got snow, heavy snow coming down. A heavy downpour of snow here today. I mean, It's been going on since to it. So, yeah, man, it's not compared to Scandinavia. We just say what we have. We say, thank God, it's not much compared to what you have. But anyway, we manage. It's managing. It's melting away. If a spread is sort of rice melting, we having a nice time anyway, guys. Nice to always have. If you just join me once again, I want to welcome you to the borderline. I'm right in the city of Manchester, where football is a religion. And we're going to be talking a little bit of football today, guys. If you mind, we'll talk about that.
They born up here football is a religion business. Only I want between you and Paul because both of you, even though my team, how is my team? How are we doing?
Arsenal. Don't say anything about Arsenal, please. Oh, come on. Let's talk about the African Cup of Nations right now. The AFCON that is taking place in Ivory Coast. That's the important thing to talk about. Arsenal is a disappointing team. They always go to the top. When you think they're going to win, they just drop. This is something. I don't know why you guys are supporting Arsenal. You should forget about Arsenal. I'm sorry if you're Arsenal supporter, but it's a disappointing thing. You just raise your hope. At some point, they just drop. And that's happening all the time. Paul, you can prove me wrong.
You cannot be on the show and talk about my team. So it's the only team in England that have never been relegated. So it's
right.
All right. So don't talk anything about my team.
Yeah,
so,
look at what you bet on. What you guys have been doing lately. What you guys doing? Almost to the point that you almost to the top, winning the league. You guys just drop.
But you call a case short earlier on. You said we shouldn't talk about Arsenal here. So
let's talk about AFCON. I'll give you a little bit of what is going on right now in Ivory Coast. The 2023
let's join Chima. Let him start the show off. The reason why we take a little bit of time to go into our topic is that we want you, the viewers that are joining us, to get settled. Maybe you are doing something and you join us. So probably you are eating and then you say, "Guys, put the food on the plate." So you can set up. Chima, go ahead.
Yeah, just a little bit of update what's going on in Ivory Coast. Probably you may have known right now that the AFCON 2023 started in Ivory Coast, the Côte d'Ivoire, they call it La Côte d'Ivoire. In several cities, they got stadium. The African Cup of Nations is going on now. Unfortunately, Liberia is not taking part, but it's necessary we also mention about what is going on now. There are a couple of games that have been played. It started the weekend. This weekend, the game started. We started with Ivory Coast against Guinea-Bissau, where Ivory Coast won 2-0 against Guinea-Bissau. Second was Nigeria. The one thing linked for is quite interesting. Nigeria was held 1-1 by Equatorial Guinea. That's another thing. That's quite interesting revelations in this African Cup of Nations 2023. We also have Egypt against Mozambique with 2-2. Egypt 2, Mozambique 2. We also Ghana was a surprise in the league. Linked for Cape Verde. All Cape Verde came against Ghana with 2-1. So Cape Verde won Ghana 2-1 in this the African Cup of Nations in their first game. Senegal won their game 3-0 against the Gambia, their neighboring country, where Guinea held Cameroon 1-1. The Great Cameroon, Linford, was held 1-1 by Guinea-Conakry, French Guinea, Guinea-Conakry. And we also have Algeria was held 1-1 by Angola. So far we have, that's the past games. We also have, Linford, today's game was quite an interesting one, guys. We have today, Group D, Burkina Faso beat Mauritania 1-0. And Group E, got Namibia beating Tunisia. That was a just game, it just ended. Namibia, the great Tunisia, the Arab nation that have been playing the African Cup and even playing the World Cup for Africa, represent Africa, who are whipped today by Namibia. A new breed, a new kid on the block, 1-0. And tonight at 8 o'clock, probably should be starting right now. We have Mali, the great Mali against South Africa. The Bafana boys will be playing against the big elephant. So tomorrow,
I will tell you one thing. Since this AFCON started, I've noticed something. There is no more underdogs. I mean, you got new teams coming, new teams like Cape Verde and they're taking on giants. It's like it's like the elephant and the ants.
Yeah, it was a shock when Cape Verde had to beat Ghana 2-1. That was a shocking one in this league. I mean, the start of the league, can't believe it. When Nigeria was held 1-1 as well. Those are things that you can't overlook, like you said, Linford. You can't overlook any team in this African Cup of Nations. The thing about African Cup of Nations, like most of those players are playing those other countries. They're also playing some European leagues. So they have the skills, they have techniques, and African countries are investing into football right now. Like coaches, experienced coaches to train a team, that send them abroad to do special training, and also helping. Unfortunately, about our country, Liberia is not taking part. So I don't know why St. George took over for the past 6 years. We didn't have the opportunity to. I don't know. We didn't have the opportunity to play in the African Cup of Nations. So you guys tell me what happened.
Liberia is always at the dead
end. We did before. I think under George stewardship, we took part in two African Cup of Nations. So, but when he became president, fortunately, we didn't have the opportunity to take part. So I don't know what really went wrong. But Zoka Wilson was one of the legends in Liberian football. He was the sport director at the time. And we talk about football here. So we may have taken part in other sporting challenges, but we didn't have the opportunity to take part in the major African tournament, which is AFCON. So it's a shame indeed. We should be 176 years old. We're not taking part in major league in Africa. It's a shame, guys. I hope the new government will look into getting into more of sporting activities. Trust
me, the new government will even be worse. And the reason why I say that is we had a footballing president and nothing happened. We also had a minister of youth and sport who is a footballer, a goalkeeper at that rate. Nothing happened. In the Senate, we had Boy Charles who played football. Nothing happened. They didn't bring their ideas together. Under this leadership of the footballer, nothing happened in football. So then you have a president who is totally or disconnect to the present world.
Please. I disagree. Don't even start.
President-elect is a big Arsenal fan. So
Don't even go
Believe
there.
you me,
I know he shares
he's going to do
Arsenal.
something about it. I'm being honest here. Don't say that because Liberia will be the new place. Everything going to be new. Remember, the president-elect served under the Samuel Doe-led government, and they were involved in sports. So don't be surprised that he put football at the highest.
You know the mistake, Paul. You know the mistake we have. We do most of the time. We will put like T. Zucker Wilson. He was one of the legend, a goalkeeper and a very football icon in Liberia, became a sport minister. The thing is, Mason, most of those guys, we will have doctors as minister of health. They have no idea, administrative idea, management idea. So they run these things like they run a football field. So eventually they're bound to fail. We need administrators, managers, guys, to run these various ministries.
Yeah, but again, I will differ with you when you say we need administrators. I agree, we need administrators, good managers. Yeah, but again, look at it. It's both ways. You bring a very good, well-polished manager who probably knows much about business, and you take him and put into sports.
No, he is that we don't want to run it that ministry. He has his immediate deputy will be a person well versed into sports. So that's how it works. So he bring the idea, he manage the idea, he put it on the table. That's how it works. Managers listen to other people and work with other people's ideas. It's not like he has autonomous power or the power to say I have to make the veto here. So managers, that's why I call you managers. Managers sit, they are good administrators, listen to every side of the story and see how can we come to a good term here. When you put a football player on the field, look at how Liberia was run by George Weah. We are now if I could, you tell me George Weah never a captain outside Liberia. He was all his football international career, he was never a football. He never kept on the field. So what could you imagine when you run the country? So this is why the mistake we always have. So we want good administrative managers that run with good people with versed in those areas that can manage the various ministries and various autonomous agencies. Or we're going to go bound to fail. This is what happening in Liberia right now, because Linford is a very good football player, tennis player, will go making head of the tennis in Liberia. What do you expect to see? So anyway, that's a little bit about the.
I will still no. I did management, right? In my profession, I did management because I did ship and port management. So now, in management,
so should we give you the national port authority to run? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Well,
let me come to you. We'll discuss that when we go to these various committees that were set up in a house. Look, we've always made this mistake. Oh yeah, managers can do it. Listen to me. If you take somebody and make him manager, you carry me to finance ministry and make him minister. I don't know. I don't even know how to balance both. I don't know anything. So yes. Wait, listen.
We'll discuss that. Can we go on the top? We'll discuss that a little on. But I will challenge the argument.
I will always stand by that argument that managers are there. They are good managers, but you gotta know where you're managing. You can't get manage anything. You gotta know where you're managing. You see?
As administrator, they can take you from maritime and point post office. You will manage.
But the question is, how well will I manage what I don't know?
It's happening right here in UK.
Know. That's why you get it. The how to call it, the technocrats are there. You only there to oversee them. Look in the UK, for example. If you see a health minister here, he's a lawyer. He have nothing to do with here, but because he's a good administrator, they put him there. It's got nothing to do.
Okay, so take that lawyer and put into the Supreme Court to be this.
No, that's why we get it wrong in Liberia. You see?
No. I mean his performance in anything that has to do with law and his performance in what he's doing.
No. As a how to call it, a manager or administrator, you see, when they do reshuffle in the West here, I give you an example. David Cameron, he is a businessman, but what happened? He have no international relation. He's now what? The foreign minister. They get a technocrat there because he's a manager. They put him there. So in Liberia, they say he must be a doctor, medical doctor. Then they put you to, they make you a minister.
No, but they have not been doing that, though. They have not been doing that.
Oh, yeah, they did that all along. Tell me, how can past government, all the past government in Liberia, all of them were medical doctors. There are no managers I can tell you, I can name from the time.
Okay,
I know myself.
let's go to the Freeport of Memorial. The people that are there now. Which one?
Yeah, you agree that the Ministry of Health is like that? It has been wrong like that. You have to be a medical doctor.
Of course, yeah, because I did work when I was in Liberia a long time ago in 1997, 98, 99. Before I left, I worked. In fact, I established a group, the Health Reporters Association of Liberia.
Don't go that far. We are saying that's why our ministry.
Yeah, but I'm telling you now that I worked directly on a health minister, Dr. Peter Como, who later on became senator. So
that's why our various ministers are failing, guys. We need to understand these things. We need to know that Paul just said. You can be all the running the health ministry can be medical doctors, can be scientists, but at the top should be somewhere with you don't have to be the full knowledge. You just got basic idea.
I'll go apply to NASA. Why they go in the moon? They face the I can't even know about managing the staff.
You can't even run a car. You don't want to talk about NASA. Come on.
Oh, but you see, you are defeating your own argument because I am saying that before I run something, I must know something about it. Because they open a report, they open all the technocrats will bring a report and put it before you. But what can you do? Jamal, go ahead and start it.
Let's welcome our people and ask them to come and share the show. Jamal, flow.
Yes. Thank you very much, God. Thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Jubal Kamara from Manchester. Once again, we just want to start show a little bit of feeling in there. We'll just discuss Liberia. We discuss Liberia here. We talk everything about Liberia as well as Africa. Tonight we'll be having a guest to be with us tonight for Liberia. We'll be joining us to discuss some issues, pertinent issues that are making headlines in Liberia. And he's the head of the proprietor of the Jala TV. The brother is Jala Aloysius will be joining us later on tonight. If it gets well, because there are some other technical issues happening in Liberia. We're expecting to be on the show tonight. We'll also be going through some reviews on Liberian newspapers that made news during the week. And it'll be, if you have a comment, please join us, and we would like to share a comment. Also share the show. Tonight with me is Lingford, is in Norway, based in Norway, and also my colleague right on the other right, from my left, is my brother and friend Paul Cholople. We once again welcome you. Please share the show. We will start. Paul, welcome again, and tell me what is it like for us tonight? How do you look at the menu?
Well, thank you. And I would say welcome to our audience as well for joining us. For those who follow us for the first time, kindly like our page and click on the like button. Every time we come on, you'll be notified. Yes, it'll be fascinating because we know there have been a new speaker, new president pro tem, and deputy speaker. These are interesting times in Liberia, and we need to examine the legislature, the most powerful people in Liberia that have seized our country, hijacked our country. Now there's trading issue coming from there. I think it'll be fascinating that we'll look at what is going on in Liberia, and let's critique the people that were elected. Why this time? Are they going to make any difference? Or it's just the same group of people, but then they just changing t-shirts? So it's something that we need to look at.
Right. So what do you think about there's something going on in Liberia right now with regard to the elections? I think before going to the newspaper review, don't you think the president is under immense pressure in terms of the nominations, the positions, and stuff like that right now? Because a couple of days after the inauguration, he has to name his ministers, a first batch of ministers. You see, on immense pressure, he will cabinet to put names up because everybody rushing to Liberia, everybody want a job, and because the government of Liberia is a major employer. What do you think about the old man is going through right now with that age, with the health issues? What do you think? Tell me, what do you think? What crossed your mind?
Well, it's not a new thing. What is happening? I remember when George Weah was elected, seemed nothing happened. When Ellie was elected, seemed nothing happened. There's nothing new in this, that people will rush from every part of the globe to go be part of that government. And remember too, we have this massive elephant in Liberia, the elephant meat, that everyone can go and cut and get away with impunity. So it wouldn't be surprised at all. So for him, what's going through his mind, he's already set the bar that what he's going to do. So picking the right people to do the right thing, I think he have them already. So we'll wait and see until the names come out.
Yeah, because you'll see, I mean, just you being like, my point is, Paul, like the government of Liberia is a major employer. people want to go in there to peak. We got people running from everywhere, Europe, America, Asia, as well as in Liberia, because they were saying that we deserve, this is our time. We heard that the former now the former vice president was once in her statement, she said some kind of there was a sound bite that says that this is our time, it's our time to chop. And this is just common in Liberia where the old man has to go around and name the first part. Don't you think there's going to be a crisis in the people will be like, fair, they'll be left out. Those who be fighting for unity party will be with the old man. Did you expect that? Are you going to be across these other parties like CDC, ANC, Liberty Party, other small parties will also get a share of this government?
People going to get into their feelings because there'll be a lot of names left out, those who fought. And this is the fact. If you look at the transition team, my good friend Linford always say these are old hands that people didn't even heard of during the campaign. They didn't mention what. Now look at the transitional team. It just tells you that those who fall, majority of them will be left out and there'll be hard feelings. So you should expect that. Fighting to get somebody in office does not mean you're going to have that you be one of them. So hard feelings will come in.
So we should tell those people, like, if you don't get anything right now, don't think like you could be a waterway position. Probably you're not qualified. But I don't care. It's just in Africa. Someone will be giving, but even you're qualified now, isn't it? It will not be based on meritus, where you're qualified and you should get a job. Connection and know you. This is a common thing in Liberia.
And cash in hand as well. So if you don't have cash in hand to pass on to somebody who closer to push your name, just forget it. So it's all part of the game. So it is where it is in Liberia. It's the face value. Nothing changed. So it's like Barrow was champion yesterday, and then RE become champion now. So it's the same old players. Nothing changed. They're not new. They're not buying new players to come into the game. They are the same old players. So what do you expect? You don't expect anything. So for example, we have RE Barrow, St. Joseph, Barman. So when St. Joseph won the league, they know that new group of people, or Fulani won, they know, but from RE to Barrow to RE is the same old. Nothing going to change.
Right, guys. Thank you very much. It's just joining you from Liberia, wherever around the world. This is the Bottom Line Liberia. We are coming to you live from Europe. This is a live stream discussions from Liberian based in Europe. And every Friday and Tuesday, we are on this platform to discuss issues making news in Liberia as well as in Europe. And my name is Jamal Kamara. I have also with me tonight is Linford Egongoe. Is in Norway, as well as Paul, the law Paul Chilofeu, based in the city of London in UK. Tonight we'll be discussing issues that pertain the how do you say that? We have elections in the House. Up on the lower house in Liberia is the kind of topic we're going to be discussing. We'll put up the flyer to see if you got any questions or comment to make. We'll ask that you put it through. If you have opportunity, we'll read your comment. So if we want you to be part of this show, we want you to be interactive. We want you to, if you have opportunity, if you want to call, drop a number. Send a text. We'll send you we'll put the number across the screen so you can read and call and make your contribution as well. Paul, let's roll the flyer once again, so those who just joined us don't know what the topic is going to be about. So we can also have their contribution coming through later on in the show. Also, for a reminder, by way of information, the proprietor and the CEO of Jalan Television from Liberia will be joining us. We are waiting he just got a communication that he's having some difficulty, technical issues, to be joining us soon to discuss the newspaper review for Liberia. We got on local newspaper from Liberia. We'll be reviewing it, major ones. We got a couple of them, but we're going to go through the major one, the main highlights in Liberia. But our topic tonight we'll be dealing with, we'll be looking at, let me see what we have here, Paul. Tonight will be navigating contradictions, analyzing the challenges of opposition leadership in speaker's role, the ruling party influence in the Senate pro tempore. So they mean that we also understand recently that it was just 2 days ago, I think, or yesterday. Tell me what's going on. You tell what's happening in the House. Quite interesting.
It's quite interesting. Liberia is a very interesting place, though. You may hate Liberia, you may love Liberia. Just put it in a good basket. It's just an interesting place to be.
So,
go
on. Linford.
Yeah.
Come again. I know you're having some technical issues there, Johnny. Thanks for joining us. Before we welcome our guest on, I was just discussing with Paul. Paul asking Paul about the situation in Liberia with regards to everybody rushing for a job right now. The button is open. The gravy bowl is open. The gravy, and they call it. Is that the candy jar? They call Liberia the affluent meat now. Everybody rushing for a job. So
the big
what is
elephant meat.
Yeah. I don't know how to start. It's getting hot in here. But you see, it's clear. You can see that hustle, the hustle, as I want to call it, political hustle, is starting at the top of government already. You can see from the both houses, people are rushing already, and now that is settled from the elections yesterday and the appointments of committee heads and members and whatever. That is settled. The lower house, they have the speaker, and he comes from the CDC. And then the upper house, we have the president pro tem, come from the ruling party, so to speak, because as it stands, Senator Nyomli Kanga Lawrence is partyless. From how I would describe her, she's partyless because she was expelled from the Liberty Party. They have yet to solve that problem. And then she moved forward, after her expulsion, she moved forward to the Unity Party, where she worked very hard for what she got today. So who knows? She could just decide, well, let Liberty Party go rest. I will stay with my Unity Party for now, with the position she got. Because remember, she's president pro tem. She's also senator. So that part of the hustle is settled among the big guys. So we come down to the next one. Everybody looking at is the appointment of cabinet ministers.
Yeah.
I don't know how many ministers in the past government, in the real government, will retain their post. If you ask me to do an estimate or some what do you call that, or guessing, I will tell you zero. I will tell you that all of them will go, and then they will be replaced. But the question is, whom are those that are coming to replace these cabinet ministers? So that is the second phase of the hustle. Then when you finish with that, then you'll be looking at the appointment of deputies and assistant ministers. And that's where the real hustle will be, because people will now begin to think that because they assisted in the process, they were out there shouting, "I'll say," so their voices. And the good thing here is that everybody in Liberia now has some record keeping system, either on your cell phone or on your Facebook, and they'll pull these things out. Say, I went to this side of the city, I was on the side in the other country, I was doing this and I was doing that. And I will also tell you another phase of the hustle. All these senators and representatives, especially the people in the new ones that came from the UP, or that came to power through the power of the UP. What they'll do now is that they'll be fighting to satisfy people in their districts, and then they'll be trying to influence the executive by either pledging more loyalty to the executive, to say, no, listen, please give me the power, let me appoint so district commissioner, so township, or I will recommend so people to you. So that it's a long thing. I've been in this year before. I will tell you, it starts from the top. It's going to trickle down to the last man who will be either maybe the quarter chief or something like that. So it's a long hustle. And again, the bigger question that comes to mind is all of the people that are occupying some of these positions in the local government system, how many of them will retain their posts? I think that's one thing that we got to start looking at.
Right. Thank you very much, Linford. Question is, does everybody deserve a reward?
Well, not a reward, so to speak.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, because I fight for the party. I was there thinking, say a battle cry everywhere. I must get a job, at least a kind of job. Yeah, Paul, it is what we all want, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, people are doing a battle cry because they want a job. So, and sometimes a battle cry won't give you that opportunity to get a job, because if the people from the other end that you didn't know about, all of a sudden it all start arriving from all parts of the globe, heading to Liberia for jobs. So your battle cry there, abusing people, now you're stuck. So you may end up joining the opposition too. That's what's going to happen.
And don't forget, Don't forget, most of our colleagues left the diaspora to go register. They came back, then they went back to vote. Then they came back, they went back, they run off. So all these things you gotta consider it too.
They're there now for the inauguration, and it all is trying to exchange.
In a total of 4 trips in less than 1 year. You gotta look at all those things.
I think I can share something with you. One thing that is very common in Liberia, you guys live in the diaspora, if you do go home, you'll notice like Britain, people back home have some different feeling. They are a bit apprehensive about our appearance and stuff like that. Like, well, you were staying there with all the fighting, you're working, and you want to continue all our jobs. And sometime after some time, just some phone the money and run away from here. Why should you give you the job? I mean, is that a right statement?
I think sometimes the people right. The people right. I think they're right because, I mean, Jamal, look at this. The whole country, if the government is the larger employer and they can only employ 80,000 people out of 5.2 million people. So everybody is hustling and bustling around the place because everybody won't have a little part of that elephant meat. So this is the time. And then you in a country struggling overnight to find out few guys have just arrived from Europe, America, and then they think you're hour on now, there's no more hope for you. You feel better. So that sentiment will kick in.
Okay, right. I think we have a little bit more of that. While we're waiting for our guests to come through, we would like to go. Gentlemen,
I just got a message from him that LEC is giving. He have not come yet. He's trying. He might come in without even showing his face. So we'll wait and see. But he's struggling with the situation. Yeah.
Fair enough. We would like to, gentlemen, can we start a review of our local newspapers? So we see what made news during the week, gentlemen. We'll start with the major news story in Liberia. Before I go to the major news, I want to take something. I think this is something, an accusation against the president-elect. Let me have your comment. What you think about it? It's from the Independent. It's a new independent newspaper. This is what they said. Baka linked to pay to play. But what happened? This Grand Crew rep came by and apologized, say he was a slip of tongue. I think he was pressured. And he changed his statement. He said it was slip of tongue. Later on, he kind of came back and said, I'm sorry what I've said. I should be a little bit responsible for what I've said. I didn't say it right. But what would have happened here? There was So should we hold Barker responsible? I mean, it's so new because they're like we heard that you were exchanging like 5,000. The whole story came about like there was a story coming at the House of Representatives were coming saying that the president-elect was dishing out money to them in order to vote for his candidate. So, and so can we say that this is a pay to play?
Well, the thing is, the allegation been around for a while. They started with $30,000, but this representative came and clarified say 5,000. So that means the smoke around, there's fire somewhere. They said there'll be no smoke without fire. The news was broken sometime last week that they were paying these representatives $30,000 to carry out developmental project in their district. And this senator came to say, no, I mean, the representative came to clarify things and it was slip of tongue. But then that slip of tongue, he actually said was 5,000. So it was late for him to pull it back. And this is it. So it's paid to play. Remember to look at Yumni. She won on white ballot and would learn that our cash were given. So
but you can prove that. You can prove that, Linford, because this one was on video. This guy's on record. Other senators, I mean, all representatives came on record on video saying they were offered money to pay to vote for the president-elect candidate. Linford, you've been around power for a very long time. 30 years in the field of journalism. You know, like these exchange of envelopes happen. I mean, tell us something's not right here. Is there something that can hold the old man responsible in the long run that he was involved in pay to play?
I will start from. I can't answer yes to that question, but I will give clues. I will lay some premises that anybody who is thinking rightly or who can remember will relate to it and analyze its present accusation. Number one, why did Prince Johnson leave the CDC to join the Unity Party? Because according to Prince Johnson, he and the CDC, quote unquote, we are, entered some agreement in 2017 so that he will support them and deliver Nima County to them on the basis that there will be some remunerations, there will be some payback, either jobs or some benefits, cash benefits. And according to Prince Johnson, that was not forthcoming. The promises that the CDC government made to them was reneged on. And so he had to leave. So in other words, he packed the bundle that he delivered at the doors of CDC in 2017. He packed that bundle and put it on his hair, and he was going around. It's like, you know, the Madigo only send her money Kalama in the morning. I call her, I say, only Kaya, then she bring the money Kalama. Then I give her money for it, I ain't buying it. She'll get mad, she take her whole money Kalama play and she start going. Sorry, Jama. Well, you can
why you have to say sorry?
You can easily relate to money Kalama, that's why. But on a serious note, so Prince Johnson packed his bundle and he was going around looking for where he can get somebody who will accept it and give him what he wants. So he lay at the doorpost of the Unity Party, headed by Honorable Joseph President-elect or almost President Joseph Boakai. Now, what happened? They accepted him, and the details of those discussions that was held behind closed door. You don't need to be working at NASA in Houston, Texas, to know what was discussed. If Prince Johnson left WIA simply because WIA was not doing what he wanted, and he went and found somebody who can do what he wanted, like a woman who left the old husband because he not buying clothes for her, he found a new boyfriend. That means the new boyfriend buying clothes for her. So then, Joe Boakai accepted Prince Johnson on the basis that, yeah, come, bring your vote, let me win, I'll do what you want. So right there is pay to play. And that's what Prince Johnson was sanctioned for by the Americans. So fast forward.
Right, okay.
Sorry, guys.
Well, Linford, I think Linford is a little bit distracted. Linford, you stay on?
Yeah, I'm on. So,
okay.
So fast forward. Do you hear me well?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So fast forward. The speakership and the president pro tempore positions both were out there for grabs. And the United Party fully know well that they have the executive, and they also want power within the both houses. So if they get the house, the upper house and the lower house, that means that the entire power, the balance of power will be in their hand. Nobody can draft a wedge between them. They will decide everything. So they have to do everything possible to maintain that power. And so if the representatives are saying that the United Party was issuing money to them, do not take it for granted, because this is something that has been happening in every government, not only the United Party, the federal government that we're talking about today. It happened. Okay? So
the question I'm asking, Linford, thanks for that background. The question I'm asking, background information, the question I'm going to put through to you right now is, Prince Johnson was sanctioned because of play-to-play by the American, right? Mm. That's the issue they will play. So do we wait to see in the future that Mr. Boakai will be held responsible or be sanctioned in the long run for pay-to-play? Consider these allegations, because the proof stayed there. They are on video. They are something. The representatives are around. They can prove that they will offer money. They will offer bribes.
Yeah, but the question, I think the question we should be asking is not whether the president-elect, soon to be president, will be held responsible in the future. The question we should be asking is whether the Americans are following the development and whether the Americans will see any reason to try to pursue a case based on what they are observing. So that's the question we should be asking, because to take action, it will not be automatic. They have to do investigation. They have to have proof. So if the Americans, they think they have sufficient proof, well, right. And remember, that the Americans would not just be hasty to pass some of these, judgments. If we go back when we administration started new, there were a lot of inconsistencies. There were a lot of things happening, and people thought that these guys would just glide. Even they that were involved, they thought we just slide, we just glide over here and go, scot-free. But at the end of the day, when the Americans knew that this government was going out of power, because they already knew the unpopularity of the government, so they decided to start slapping sanctions on them. See, okay. So who knows? At the end of the day, to address your question, at the end of the day, the Americans could decide and say, well, listen, we started to observe these things from the early stages, plus other things that may happen in the course of the 6 years that the Unity Party will be in power. That could just, give sufficient reason for some actions by the Americans.
Paul, what do you think?
Paul, let me add something.
I want to add a question, then you can ask something to it. Paul, to you, especially Paul. Paul, don't you think it's too early for the president-elect to something to worry about, like pay to play starting up right now? He's not taking office yet, and in the next 6 years, you could be tangled into all these small allegations that may bother him in the future. Should he worry about something? Do you think he should worry that America will come after him?
I don't think he will worry about anything. The reason being, these people are not new to the game. They are the old players, and it's something that when you used to doing, you don't just change overnight. They say always die very hard. This has been a game plan for years. So I was just giving an example. It's like we get IE and Barrow. IE won the tournament last season. This year around, Barrow won the tournament. The very players are not new. They are the same players. So peer-to-play is always happening under this group. So you don't expect anything new. That's something they used to. So if there was somebody new doing it, then you ask that question. But for this group, no. Remember, it was the former vice president during his administration that they introduced what they call the brown envelope at the legislature. So it's nothing new here. It's something that we should all know about. It's nothing new for these guys. So it is the game, the way they understand it, how they will play the game. Nothing new. So the pay to play something is something that they could. It was the Unity Party that introduced that during the early time. So and they're part of the group. So they're coming back. So don't expect anything new. Right.
Now, guys, I know we moved to a transitional page, a news platform page that made news in Liberia. Now, before I want to talk a little bit about it. The state president, George Emmanuel, we are staying in the news, still making news. And then you still be making news until his days are over. This is what happened recently when the news played. Let's discuss this. President Weah says goodbye to politics. Do you still think the president is going to retire, go to somewhere in Jamaica and retire and just forget about Liberia?
Jamal, this thing I said, they say he will not contest come 2029. Look, the president has broken some record in Liberia that people made. He did something that's very unprecedented, that the sitting president to give up power so easily. This guy going to make millions of dollars going around the place as a peacemaker. Why would he want to put himself in the firing line? He was the most abused president in recent time, in recent years. Man, he's not coming back. He got what he wanted, and he will be the ambassador, the proper ambassador that they gave. Oh, ambassador, we are now is the time that you be that ambassador. And remember,
can I just keep
talking? And this guy, he's gonna be the next kingmaker in Liberia. It's almost like when they say, "Oh, LPQ," then he's the one gonna be the decider. So if in his position, this guy will be relaxing in Jamaica and coming to Liberia and say, "Look, y'all run for Jamal, and people will follow you." It's not gonna return. And I think it's a good move.
Linford, what do you think? The president going? Linford, the question is, Linford, let me ask you. Linford, listen, before you ask your different point, I just want to ask something. The question is, the person is going to retire. He's going to Jamaica, quote unquote, to retire and just forget about Liberia. Stay there, press buttons and say, gentlemen, I want this to happen. I don't want this to happen. I want this to happen. Don't you think going to happen like that? Or are you going to say, you know what? I'll stay with somewhere around. I'll go to somewhere around Grand Cru or go as far as Sano. Get my little ranch, stay there, and don't go into farming. Forget about Liberia politics. What do you think, Linford?
Okay, this is what I wanted to add. If you, beside this newspaper story, if you listen to what the president said, he did not actually say he was resigning from politics. What he said was, it was like he was throwing jabs. He was actually throwing some words out there, but people misunderstood him. He said he lost the election, so he's going to rest. He did not come to politics to remain there and get old and die, like some people. Indirectly, he was throwing words. And then he said, but again, in 2029, I'll be 63. So who knows? Because trying to say he did not come to politics to stay there to be 80 something, 82, 84, 85. But in 2023, I'll be 63. So you read in between, I said that I'm hanging on my boots. No. And let me tell you, let Paul say, maybe we will be a next kingmaker, but I don't think he is saying total goodbye to Liberian politics. No. He will be there. He made that run for president, but he will be there. He'll be pushing button. And again, who knows? He might say, well, I'm retiring to go. Like I got 49 condominium. If nothing happens, the Unity Party said they will drag him to accountability. If nothing happens, the 49 condominium, 447, whatever it is, he can raise enough money for him. The man gonna go pay rent anywhere. The man got enough money. He will be retired. He will be getting paid from government. So why would he want to hurt his head? People be causing him with blood jigato and all these things. But again, who knows? But he did not outrightly say he was retiring from politics. He said he will go and rest.
So, Linford, let's welcome some of the people that just joined us right now.
Unfortunately, I'm not on the board. I'm not on the board, so I don't see most of the people that are joining us. I don't see their names. But on the other side, I can see Royal Dunamis. Okay, as usual, Madam Lucretia Nelson is here, and also the other people, because I'm not on the board, so I don't see who's on my chat. So if you guys can see other people, you can welcome them.
He said something about this. As a comment Royal just made. Royal said, my man, this was clear. What he said, he's not running for president again. He's the kingmaker of Liberia now. So just what Paul said, exactly what Roy is saying. This guy's a kingmaker. You said there, big boy, taking some money, behaving like the Maradona of Liberian politics. Is that what we wish to see? And I know what. Let's welcome Sister Lucretia Nelson. Welcome. Good evening, guys. And Roy also said it is a civilized move by President Weah, and he said also that he said he will retire at the age of 65. All right, that's fine. But then the thing is it one of those strange things in Africa? I mean, you stay young, retire from something with a heavy. He got the big end in terms of politics now. Opposition got the larger opposition in the house. And he's still respected by many Liberians, even outside Africa, outside Liberia. George Weah could make the comeback like Donald Trump. Don't you think, guys?
No, Jamal,
that's what I said.
He's
okay,
not
Paul,
going to make the comeback. He's not going to make the comeback. Trust me. Look, this guy.
Paul, before you continue, what happened in Liberia? People will say, look, George, you were there. This thing happened, that thing happened. We want to go. We want to petition you to go back and face this country. He will tell you that he will realize his mistakes, something that did not go wrong. He's going to change it around and give it opportunity. He will fix what he did not put together for the past 6 years. Don't you think Liberians will gain the opportunity?
No, they won't give him that opportunity. The performance were bad, and to start with, based on our performance, They won't give him an opportunity. He's the most popular person in Liberia, but the performance was bad. So I think he's smart enough to know that, yes, they didn't perform well, and coming back, no, when you are given the golden opportunity to serve, and you serve and you leave, you are most respected than coming back. You see, Donald Trump that you're talking about today, the whole of America is divided. People want to take in a court. I don't think this guy want to come back. Yeah.
Right. Now the thing is, our people in Liberia, we are very forgiving. Raise your hand and say, sorry, I was wrong. We are God-fearing people. I was wrong.
Let me come in there.
So help me, put me back, Paul Linford. Help me. I was wrong. I did wrong. I'm guilty. I'm responsible for what happened. Past 6 years. Give me one more chance. I will face that question.
Two things could happen.
Okay.
He may see the need to say, well, in fact, 3 things will happen. His party, remember that the CDC controls the lower house now, and they are the biggest opposition party now. So his party his party could say, no, listen, we want you to go back at the end of 2029 or 2028. We want you to go back in the election. You say, well, and let me tell you, George Weah is smart. People think this guy is not, he may not be smart, educationally, but he's street smart. What he's doing now, first he considered peacefully, he left. So he's creating a ground that Liberian people begin to like him. At the end of the day, they will say, if this government performs bad, they say it was better to have Weah. So all the Liberian people start petitioning him, not even his party. Other people start saying, let Weah come. Then you say, hey, the people want me to go back. And that means, you remember he said something. One time when he came from America, when the journalist asked him, he said, I did not do anything. I did not promise the Liberian people anything. They voted for me. What you think if I have done small thing? They will say vote for me. So right now he said, I don't want to be president, or I don't want to run again. So the people can say, yeah, the man left peacefully. At the end of the day, if this government begins to perform dismally, then the people say, let Weah come back. Then you say, hey, the people call me, not myself. Because if he insists that I want to run in 2029, people say, oh, they may able for power, this and that. But you want to leave it in the hands of the people so they can petition him. That's the first thing. Then the second thing could be, again, that this government would even do worse than him. And then he will come back and say, no, you voted me out, you said the people were better than me, but now I think I'm better, I will come back. And that's why he said that time limit. He said 2029 will be 63. He's not yet 60. He will not be yet 65. So he should know. So the man is smart. He play a game some kind of way.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you just join us, this is the Bottom Liberia. Come to you live from European-based Liberian diaspora platform. If you just join wherever you are joining, we ask you to please share the video. We also live on our online radio. If you look on the top corner of our screen, that's how we got apps both on, you can download on the iPhone as well as Android. We're on live on the radio as well. We're 24/7 on the radio. We're also live there live. If you get an opportunity to watch on video, you can catch on there on the audio on our radio. That's the Bottom Liberia, the Bottom Liberia radio live for 24/7. We also relay there major news from Liberia as well as the platform show. And we also want to put this a comment Linford just made. Roy also made a comment on this. We want to put that for you to see on the screen. This is what Roy just said. What's it that he said something? He said, my brother, Liberians love that man naturally. Don't fool yourself. He doesn't want to be bothered with your president.
Well, that's just his opinion.
He said he doesn't want to be bothered with. He said
he doesn't speak for Weah. You see, when we are giving, I'm just giving my opinion too. So let's see. You see, a good thing here is Weah is not going anywhere. He will be in Liberia. He will be in and out. And
look, I mean, Linford,
I'm sorry for
Weah will be the kingmaker in Liberia, and I tell you, this is where he will make more money. People will come to him to seek. Hey, Weah will be Weah.
I am also telling you that Weah could just, I'm not saying he will, but he could just decide to come back based on how this government will perform. And based on like what Royal Dumani is saying, if the people love him, what if the people come massively in starting 2029 2025 or 2026 and say, look, you will go, you will go. He will come back. You see, Donald Trump, you know that Donald Trump won the caucuses in Iowa. You see, so everybody thought, in fact, with all the lawsuits against Donald Trump, people thought you were not going to make it. Now he's making airways. So this is politics.
Okay. Guys, okay. Well, quite interesting story, guys. If you just don't know, this is quite interesting. We're discussing with Video Liberia daily newspapers that made headline during a week. This is why we give our own perspective, own opinion. If you've seen us, if you have a way to drop your comment, if you want to call, drop our text. We'll put the number on the screen. You call and make your send your contribution. Guys, let's put on this other page that made headlines. This is what happened in big news in Liberia. We'll go to this is what happening right now. That's the major news making in Liberia. This newspaper is today's newspaper from the New Republic. It says the new Liberian bonanza. You see, you can see Konati Kofa, Senator Yombly, and this is Thomas Fala. Thomas Fala is the deputy speaker right now. Konati Kofa. So we got 3 big people that run those two houses. So, guys, what do you think? We'll go details into who are those committees set up. So, combinations, opposition combination in strong. You got a stronghold of the house. So, what is the fear? Should the Unity Party have a fear? Ruling government have a fear for the house to kind of obstruct a lot of their bills or their proposals?
I'll take a shot first. If you look at as we speak, the United Party is dragging Fonati Kofa to court on the basis of allegations
I'll bring that story here. This is the story right here.
Yeah.
Go on.
I'm getting So
go on.
The fear, there is big fear. The fear, I told you already. The CDC.
This is what you're saying. This is the story, right?
Yeah. The CDC has so many lawmakers, especially in the lower house. I think about 25 of them. And then from the 25, Fonati Kofa has become the speaker, a very powerful position. Then Thomas Fala, deputy speaker. So if you had a United Party as deputy speaker to Fonati Kofa, the 2 of them could be probably a loggerhead who disagree on some issues. But whatever Thomas Fala and whatever Kofa will say, Fala will go by it. In fact, Fala will be ready. And remember, the 2 of them are influential. Fala being in the house for a while. So they are influential. And this thing, look, if you study the house, both houses, it is not about how much people you got behind you in your constituency. It's not about how much book you know, how much experience you have. It's about your power to rally. It's about, making concessions, knowing how to move on the floor. Because people can be voting. Yeah? I can have 10 people behind me voting. But in 1 second, while one of the people behind me is going to vote, cast a ballot, he can change right there. Something can happen, he will change dramatically. We witnessed that against, who was this? Somebody, Sandra Johnson voted against Joe Howard Taylor. Okay, I still remember something like that. She one of these Sunday pro-tem. Okay, Sandra Johnson voted against her just the last minute. So anything can happen, and that one vote cost Joe Howard that position. That one vote because she was defeated by 1 vote. So it's about lobbying. It's about lobbying, and Fala has the power to lobby. Fonati Kofa was deputy speaker. He knows the in and out. Okay, right. So I think the fear right there is that the Unity Party is that they are afraid that most of their bills, most of their actions will be distorted, will be blocked, and that's what they don't want. So they try to. When you come to that story about Kofa being dragged to court, we'll talk more about it. That's why they want to cut it short. No, but then again, that case is now a case. When we get there, we'll discuss that one.
Paul, what do you think? Look at the men. You say Yombly's men. These are powerful people around the Yombly. So Liver just said to us like it's about lobbying in the house. But Yomli got some powerful hands around now. The only face I see that Nana be very new to it may not be of on Yomli side will be Antonia McGay so far. But she seems to be going to be in a good position. She's going to be sitting pretty well. And when it comes to lobbying and strong booms and strong hands. Paul, what do you think?
There was a newspaper allegation on this that the senators were giving $40,000. So she won on a white ballot.
That's correct.
So you told me she was the favorite for the president-elect. Now, something tells me that before I go into the story, is Yomli a good leader? That's the question I will start with. Now, because we saw her performance during the internship with the CPP, and we know what she's capable of doing. Now, winning on a white ballot, a ring alarm. With the paper you started with, pay to play. Is that what happened in the upper house? To start with, because nobody challenged her. And that alone should be alarming to us. What is going on? And look at the members that they're not from, all of them not UP. There are a lot of sedition in our house. But Linford say people can lobby. She's not from United Party. I think the ticket she on the CPP ticket, she and DeLong. And Bob Charles is also in our house. So if you look at it critically, she have not joined United Party yet, and that Liberty Party, although she was expelled, but it wouldn't surprise you that they come together, that she become opposition pro tem. So I'm looking at it from that way. I don't know what they are thinking of then giving her, voting her on a white ballot. I don't know. There's no challenger. It's something might be writing in there.
An addition, before Linford can import for your information, Benson Finley withdrew his candidacy when he was, I think, Prince Moore or somebody nominated him. Somebody nominated, I can't remember the person, but he withdrew his nomination. We declined to run against her because of they call it traditional politics, because they're off for Grand Bassa. And that's what he said. And he does not want to run against what the lady name. And he could compete against her in the house. I don't understand that, because he's one of those guys, they run against each other before for the house, right?
Yeah.
And for the House of Senate before. Basically, I'm feeling against they went before 20 before the first time George Weah. That way Yomli won the seat. Now he withdrew his candidacy against Yomli for Senate pro tem because of traditional politics, because he comes from Grand Bassa. So the argument of 40,000 be dished out to each senator to give for the white ballot election will be something we'll look into in the long run. But anyway, the pay to play will be an issue we'll be looking at in the future, because we've got a long way to go, gentlemen. But anyway, I want to play this stuff. This is what happened here with regard to stay in the house. This is what happens. Senate pro tempore nominee appoints Senate leadership. She got her teams or committees that you see. You can read from here. Amara Kone, who's got at the end? Next to Amara was that. He's Edu Snow, the most popular senator, Prince Johnson. I can't remember who is this lady, but there's
Boto Kane.
Oh, Boto Kane from Bapulu.
Yes, there are only two females in the house.
Yeah, and also I got Nathaniel McGill. Those are in the house right now. Those are people. This because these are members of the committee. So we will go but do the names. The committee she set up there. I will see if I can get a list of the people she set up on the committee. Let me see what she did here. Was okay. What she did according to they got who is there? I don't know if I can't have access to the list of those she appointed on the committee in the Senate, in the House. I'm going to look around. I think I'm going to lay her on the later on. Okay, guys, this is it. What she did, this committee she set up, the leadership committee include the following: pro tempore Lawrence, Yomli Lawrence Kanga Lawrence, chair on the Senate committee; James Barney, Maryland County chair on foreign affairs; Abraham Dillon, that's foreign affairs, sorry; That's from Australia. The chair on public works is Albert Tobechi Gracu. Chair of Judiciary, Augustine Chair Sano. Chair on Ways and Means Finance Budget is Prince Moibon County. Others on the committee, on all committee is Defense is Secretary Momo Cyrus from Lofa County. Chair on the Rules and Order and Administration is Blair O. Brown from Maryland County. Chair on Education, Natana McGill Magibi. Chair on Health is Daba Papla, Grand Kibma County. Chair on Internal Affairs, Prince Johnson, Nimba County. Chair on Public Accounts is Amara Kone Bapulu. Senate Representative to the Economic Committee of West Africa State ECOWAS, Edwin Snow Jr., Edwin Snow and J. Tyler, both of Bowman County. And now Senators Francis Dopu, River G, and Quayton Duncan were named to represent Senate to the International Parliamentary Union, RPU, gentlemen. So this is the committee set up by the Senate Pro Temp, Honorable Yombly. What do you guys think? They say any is that powerful? You think they're going to frustrate her, or is she going to be in your listen to do what she likes, or they're going to challenge some of her or proposal or rule?
So Jamal, before we go, she had a position before becoming pro tem in the House. She was the head of, I think, the rules and something committee they had. So she had a very good position there. So these are her working colleagues, right? That's what I keep saying. It's like they're just changing Jesse. I mean, or switching seat. That's all. It's the same players. So Edwin Snow gone back to where Eck was because he know that committee. There's good chopping there. So why he didn't contest for the post? Something just smelly feature about these guys in the House. The House is the most corrupt entity in Liberia that make people to suffer in our country. Both houses. So if you look at this, we're talking about change, and there's nothing new, there's nothing changed in there. Prince Johnson is there. He was on a committee when the Americans censored him, and he was removed from the committee.
The head of defense. Chair of the defense, yeah.
So he's eternal. So defense or Waldo, they all fall under him.
Yeah. Linford, right. What do you think?
I'm awful.
Linford, with the list of people that Joe just named, yeah, you think she just picked them because they are in good with her, or she want to be a balanced house so they can have a proper administration, or because these are my guys. We call it Yombly's men. Look at what happened here. This is what we have. The Yombly's men. So she's surrounded by these powerful people to pull her grievances through, pull her ideas through. Well, so what do you think? Would you see any change compared to the next?
No, before Linford come in, Jeba, before Linford come in. On that list, you see, there are sanctioned people on that list. The McGee
people and Prince Johnson.
Prince Johnson, Abochie, all of them. These are all crooks. Look at this. So what does that tell you?
Well, one thing I will tell you is that we started the whole show with this thing. The appointment of people to positions. And I still meeting my ground that appointing people to position where they have a little bit of knowledge. It could not be educational, it could be some training, knowledge, or some sort of idea is good. Now, but these are political appointments, right? So you have Prince Johnson. The position he got is that committee is a very powerful committee, internal affairs. He controls the entire country.
Exactly.
The chiefs, the zones, and some of the position, the appointment was made strategically. Prince Johnson is placed in that position, internal affairs, so that in the after the next 6 years, in the elections, Prince Johnson will have influence over the entire country, the chiefs, the zones, the town chiefs, everybody. And he can influence them to re-elect the Unity Party. Look at America. Where did they put him? Public account. So if you want to go audit this government in the next, if one government will come after them, you want to audit them, you know what will happen? America would have influenced the whole committee. And then also, if they want to go audit the weird government, who will be heading it? America
the early government,
the LACP, and all these people. Then let's look at Dillon. You take Dillon and making chairman on a committee on foreign affairs. Amen. But from all indication, Dillon has been around the justice ministry for a while. He worked with Galawuru, he worked with most of the guys, even the very what do you call the guy, the justice minister of Ghana. Okay, so Dillon would have gone in that area, but you point to foreign affairs. Now tell me, what foreign policy Dillon has? Now nobody needs any education though in a particular area to be a manager or to lead. But again, you got to know the subject matter. You got to know something. You got to have influence. If you send a Dillon to China, how much influence can he have on the Chinese, on the Russians, or right here to America where he always goes? How much influence can he have on people? It will take him some time to establish that contact. I'm not saying that it doesn't have the charisma, but it will take him time. So look for Besson Garfinley. This is a man who was foreign minister. Though his performance may not have been good, but the name still rings in the foreign circle. Okay, then look at who else? Natano Magay. You grab a guy from the Bullfrog camp, do community, then you put him on the committee on education. How many educational projects have Natano Magay taking or not taken in the country? How much impact? These are new people coming in the house. Some of them had never served in a committee. Put these people on committee, let them work with committee, and then have some experience. I'm sure there are people who were working with past committees. Okay? Some of the committee that get appointed people on. There are people who are working with them. So put these people that got some documents, they know about some documents. But you bring Natano Magay, I don't know how is he going to influence the educational system in Liberia, the education ministry, all of the frauds and flaws.
So, let me add something there. You get Edwin Snow, who been the ambassador for ECOWAS. So why could he put him on a foreign affairs committee? Because he have that experience.
Yeah, but Edwin Snow too. No, my best friend, Edwin Snow, my boy from the NPS, my boy. Edwin Snow, he too got interested in ECOWAS because there is some relationship that we know about that is going there.
So, but you know something, Jamal, before we transition, Dillon is the one that's going to run that show. Whatever Dillon says, Yummy follow.
Why you think so? Why you think so?
Well, we saw that the breaking apart of the Liberty Party. Wherever this when Dillon say A, Yummy say A. So interesting times.
But Dillon will not influence leaders of these committees, though. I don't think he has the power to do that.
No, I'm talking about the pro tem himself, not the committee. Dillon going to run the show in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
The lady by Prince Johnson, somebody John Howard just wrote that she's a Grand Cape County Senator elect. I don't know what's her name.
Oh, it's a new woman from Cape Man.
Yeah.
So there are 3 women in there now.
Well, Royal Dunami, that one, my hand is that you know that. Oh, I know the mega interest in the ECOWAS parliament. So, but you know, like Paul said, I think Snow would have made a very good foreign affairs chairman, you know, committee on foreign affairs. and Dillon, I think Dillon would have gone to justice, the national security or something like that. And Prince Johnson, his position is very, very much strategic. Nathaniel McGill should not go anywhere, according to my own analysis.
So you see, this is why I don't understand the sanction people. They have the key jobs in the whole thing. So where are we going?
No. But listen, every time we talk about this sanction thing, the Americans plainly told you that this sanction has nothing to do with the local political activities. So that's why these people, in the first place, they ran. But
yes, so what I'm saying, the key position that Prince Johnson on now, we were told the campaign message from Unity Party that there will be a war economic crime court in Liberia, and you put Prince Johnson on such a powerful committee that will have influence over a lot of people. Do you think that will happen?
Look, listen, if the War and Economic Crimes Code is to be established, it got nothing to do with internal affairs. Trust me, I will tell you that. Listen, the War and Economic Crimes Code, this is how it works. If it's going to come, it will be established by the RCC. It will be sponsored by them. Everything will be done by them. All they need, the consent of the government, the president, to turn these individuals over. Simple. They're not going to go as town chiefs and other people. Nobody's going to have election. You want to carry Prince Johnson, yes or no? No. The evidence are there already.
No, that I said influence. Ain't he in the house?
So how can he influence the people? I mean, what will he do?
What will he do? He have influence. Yeah. Well, if the president, let's say, he wouldn't sleep with the devil to be there.
So I'm telling you, God, this is not going to go through the house. This will not be any legislative matter where they go ask senators and representatives vote.
Well, no. What did we say when the question came to him about? He said he left with the house. You remember?
Yeah, but because probably doesn't know the procedure. Because in Sierra Leone, I don't think all the people that were turned over to when they were carrying Taylor, did the house vote? Did the house do anything? No.
No. That's a different scenario because Taylor was not president at the time when they took him. He had already left. He went to Nigeria.
All right, guys. Can we move to this story? Guys, okay. Can we look into this story? Is this something like they call in Liberia a rat trap? If a Union Party intend to pursue this case, a Union Party petition court to disqualify Speaker Fonatico for as member of the House over dual citizenship allegations, but similar suit hangs over Yombling Kanga Lawrence. There are many people in that house that carried dual passports. Don't you think gonna be a rat trap? They always say it's not only for rat alone.
Let me ask one question.
Yes.
Who determines who is an American or who is a foreign national?
Yeah, but they may ask for you to produce all a document. I mean,
who determines that? That's the question.
No, but if the court, if they put a case against him, he may not be allowed to hold the position because they know dual citizenship law says he cannot hold a Liberian living outside with two passports, two nationalities. Cannot
who will decide? Who will prove it? Because the first thing you carry me to Liberia, you say, "My man, you live in Norway all the years, so you Norwegian." I say, "I'm not Norwegian. I'm a Liberian." What do you do?
You ask the Norwegian government to give you check your record.
What do you mean?
We can ask the Norwegian government to give you details on what you.
Yeah, but what if the Norwegian government the Norwegian government is not into that? The Norwegian government does not disclose people's status to other countries.
No, it happens depending on certain ground. They got good relation with the government. They know we call it GDP. They can happen.
But not because the person want to hold position in his birth country, then what we had dual citizenship? That means do or me too.
Yeah, but the dual citizenship has a law. The stipulation say that you are limited to some position in the country. If you have a different country passport, you're born Liberian, you are limited to holding some position in Liberia. Don't you know?
Yeah, but okay. Norway can tell the person, the man, that our citizen, but he's also your citizen.
You know, Jamal, Liberia is a very interesting country. Our current president, there was photograph of him, his passport circulating on the internet as a U.S. citizen. I got a copy of that. It was Obe who posted that passport. I got a copy of it. Fanatic Kofa, he's a lawyer. And he been in a lower house. They crafted something that was sent to the upper house that Delon and others decided to change because it was not in their favor regarding the dual citizenship today that we talk about. In the old Liberian constitution, if you born of two Liberian parents, whether you in auto space or while you're Liberian, they don't then change it because of jealousy that how come these guys are coming will do this, or we are decided to push the dual citizenship forward. Why is a United Party are so better want to take Falanti Kofa the code when the guy they were pushing forward to his photograph was circulating that he's an American citizen? So if he was going to be elected, were they going to take in a court?
Let me give you a good example. Who remembers the Rawa Salif issue? What answer did Rawa Salif give? The court asked Rawa Salif, "Are you American?" He said, "No, I'm Liberian." Simple. I'm Liberian. So bring the paper that I'm American. We're in the internet age. Anybody can take paper and attach my picture to it. Go to the American. America will not do it. Norway will not do it. France will not do it because they are unless there is something special about you. I'll give you one example here. There was a guy who was living here, one Arab guy. He gave the country, he gave the people hard time here. They took a guy, carrying a guy everywhere. When they carried to Saudi Arabia, they said, "No, we know the man, you're carrying back." They carried him. Finally, he ended up in Belgium or somewhere. They carried the man to all the other countries. They carried the person, we know him. You're carrying him back. Okay? So you can't force the man to say, "I'm this." The man said, "I'm a Liberian." Raul Salih told him, "I'm a Liberian." It leave you now to go bring the people and say, "Not me, I'm a Liberian." Can't prove that I'm not Liberian. Prove to the court that I am not Liberian. If you prove to the court that I'm not Liberian, I'll take different citizenship. And then you go in the law, the man mother and father from Liberia. So how can you say he's not Liberian? So I think they are wasting their time. And besides that, let me ask one question. What does Unity Party want? You get a presidency, you got a speakership. And if they continue to push this case, the lower house is controlled by the opposition. Okay? If the people get frustrated, they can delay the inauguration of Joe Baka, and nothing will be happening.
Lifa is right. The real power is in the lower house.
Yeah, of course.
The real power is in the lower house. And that lower house, because our people overlook it, the lower house have the power, they can do what they want to do. The upper house, I want to say, well, this is where the wise people sit, but the lower house is almost like England here, where you get a comma, then you have the other house where the old people sit down as wise people to view it. So that
the lower house make a law, they decide, they will send it up there for approval. Simple.
Exactly. The lower house, the power. So if United Party keep pushing, the lower house could be problem for them. And they know that CDC is in there, they have the majority in the lower house. Apart from CDC, you have other opposition lawmakers are in there. I think the CPP got good numbers also in there as well. Then you have independence. So if you keep pushing, something is just not right. You get it. So what about Tomo Fala, the deputy speaker? So if you push it to move them, you come and get Tomo Fala as speaker. I don't know. That's something just rotting.
No, but so, I think they're getting bad advice, and they may just make a U-turn because right now CDC got nothing to lose. Okay, if you bring your baby, you say, "I'll beat it. I'll be beat on the head. I'll not beat on the board. I'll be knocking."
Right. So so that means they say this hanky over Yomni as well. So Yomni might have a dual citizenship that nobody knew about.
Yeah. And you see, the thing is, they're defeating their own purpose, because the thing here is the law clearly states that once a Liberian, will always be a Liberian.
Exactly.
There's nothing about it. There's nothing. So why you craft that they mayor, he get dual citizenship, so he come and take our job? And what about it? So when the man bring in, then why you allowing white people to buy land in your country?
Why they voted him? They didn't stop him from being representative in the first place. If you have dual citizenship, the man won the seat twice.
Quite interesting, guys.
But no, Jamal, before it, Fanatic Kofa, the speaker now, he's smart, he's a good lawyer. He was also convicted in America for something he did bad. In a normal country, he will not even be elected. But in our country called Liberia, we just love people who can do bad things and come and say, oh, sorry, I put my hand, I repent. Like Prince Johnson. General Bodneke run to be representative, he will win his seat. There are other criminal on Spoon television. Standard Water Spoon. He can't run jail, he go run to be senator or president, he will win. We just love these kind of people. And this is, I don't understand why Liberia is like that. You must be a bad player, then they accept you. You know, back in the days when we used to play football, one guy used to play for Barrow. They say somebody picking go down to this Dan Colette.
Dan Colette, yeah.
Dan Colette, remember that name? He was so bad.
But he has a Ghanaian connection, is he?
Yeah.
I think he had a Ghanaian connection, yeah.
So we just love bad people. You see?
The old dual citizenship thing here, let me ask one question. People who want to stop American citizens or French citizens from being holding position. The first set of Liberian presidents, where were they born? The first 12, just count. Joseph Jenkins Rabo, Stephen A. Benson, Dana B. Warner, James Springsteen. Then come back to Joseph Jenkins Rabo. All of them were born in America. Joseph Jenkins Rabo was born in Richmond, Virginia.
Linford, but the constitution that those guys wrote, they say all Negro or citizen of Liberia is written there. So if he came from Nigeria, Ghana, like where Joseph Barker now is, he's from Sierra Leone today, he's president. And this is the fact. So if we're talking about dual citizenship, then Joseph
okay, you prove it. You ask the Papa, you ask the Papa, he will tell you, I work from Kolabu tomorrow.
No, the Papa gave his interview on Truth FM before the election, and he explained, even he talked about the name, how his name was changed, where his parents came from, both of his parents from Sierra Leone. So if we're talking about dual citizenship, then me will put Joseph Barker will need to take in the Supreme Court too.
Le Papa tu get plenty story. Le Papa so one go one full. Then he walked to Montreal. Papa say to me today, from Foya to Montreal.
Oh God.
Yeah, but guys, on a very serious note, you are welcome to Bottomland. This is the place where we discuss the issue. So now we get put fun there to make it, you know, like we got Royal Dynamics there, the guy being following all through, or Jotty How is here. If you keep you in your seat for long, we gotta put some fun there. So you see, the president say if people that came from Sierra Leone, they started in Foya. In fact, one story I heard is that, you know, if people couldn't take care of him, so they get into one uncle to take care of him. Then the same president, I know you are selling something like good. He carried the full man. The full man said, "Go not looking good." He carried go by. He bought plenty bag or so. He told the go eat. Then you're looking
who
so aggressive full man. Then at one point he decided to come to Montreal. He say he worked for only 2 days. From where for you? 2 days. But you know, now
Libo, where you got that story from?
Eh?
Who gave you that story? That way you breaking that.
No, but no, the probably say he walked from Foya to Montreal. You hear that story?
You mean a better ghost story? that better ghost story.
Anyway, guys.
Yeah, but you see, on a serious note, yeah, the probably say you are pro, you living on loan, but there's not a probably president, my man. Probably just start getting money that out. Probably go somewhere and say, I give you I give you $55,000, man. That's just my initial donation, man, on behalf of me and my wife.
Linford, The day you decide to sleep with the devil for position, that's what you get. The papa coming buy a house in Marshall for $1 million.
Where Bonnie? I mean, with that house?
Yes, for $1 million.
I saw the picture of that house. I couldn't believe it. I didn't believe that those kind of houses can be found in Liberia.
Oh, go Marshall, the kind of houses you see there, it was amaze you. So the papa now, all of the blue, they broke old men are on loan. He just $500,000 was given for him to renovate.
I hope he not pay the loan.
My man, and the man renovating her with spending $500,000 and trying to buy $1 million house. Then what you talking about loan? How much was that loan?
Guys, Joseph Numa Bwaka is now our president. So the same thing we used to do to George, we will do to him. You're who like Joe Bwaka, and you're gonna kill somebody for him. You're gonna kill. But look, let me tell you, on Easter last wear that has the crown. I mean, last the hair that wears the crown. You see me here. When I go lay down, I put my hair on my little pillow, softly, I sleep easily. But if I begin king now, you put a heavy to my hair, when I go lay down heavy, so my hair will not be resting. So the president is the president. We respect him. He's our president, but at the same time, we're critiquing, we're scrutinizing. That man, he say you're living on loan. For that time, we hear about the loan. Whether the loan gone down, or he say and he say he been living that one house for more than 50 years. Then what made him to move from that one house question? So what was it about Joshua when Joshua renovated in a house on Nan Street and were making all the noise? What
don't worry. Before we transition, I said from the beginning, these are all players in the game. They only swapping seat. That's all. Nothing changing. So
how do carry Josh? How do other Josh now?
But look at the committee. American on. And they said they were order early, they were order where. Look what American is sitting. Eating pass through the hall. Fanatic Kofa sitting as speaker.
Okay,
think on it.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Thank you very much, guys. We want to go back. Well, I think we got a couple of minutes left to wrap up if you like. We want to go back to the main topic while we have a difficulty of getting our guests coming through because of some technical problem in Monrovia. He was Aloysius, Jala Aloysius, proprietor and CEO of Jala TV in Liberia. He was to join us today. Because of some technical issues, he couldn't join us. But anyway, we had a beautiful conversation regarding, we were reviewing the major newspaper in Liberia. And if you just joined, we say, welcome to the Born Liberia. This is a Liberian diaspora-based platform in Europe. My colleague right on my left top is Linford Egongoe, based in Norway. And I got Paul on the top right is from Paul, the Law Paul Chiller platform, United Kingdom, based in London, the city of London. Gentlemen, can we take a round on the topic on a serious note and see, because we're talking about, I think we discussed it. Let's give a little bit of a comment on this. The both houses, the Senate and the House of Rep, we got, this is the topic. I think I want to put it back forward to see how we look. What do you think? This is a balance of power. You say navigating contradictions, analyzing the challenges of opposition leadership in the speaker's role and the ruling party influence in the Senate pro temp. What do you guys think? Is this going to be at some point where these reps that we think that bigger opposition, the CDC and other opposition party, don't you think at some point, do you think they'll be compromised and they'll just follow? Or they will still maintain that ground for the sake of Liberia and critique or challenge all bills or proposals coming on the floor? Or at some point, will they be compromised and just, go with the flow? What do you guys think?
Let me start then fucking chip in. Nothing going to change. As long as the paper said these guys were getting $30,000 for them to elect speaker, and then the representative came out and said, well, $5,000. They are hungry liars. They are corrupt people that in there, there's nothing changed. People going into that house to enrich themselves. So when the king of the brown envelope is the elected president, they the one introduce brown envelope. Look at Nyomli and look at the paper that you just put up, pay to play. So what have started it will continue in the 6 years. In fact, you have CDC in the lower house as the speaker to get things done in the lower house. If you can't go CDC way, it means you got to pay something. And Yeke Koluba said that in his interview, said this 55th legislature will be more corrupt than the 54th. Nobody know what he was talking about. Now the people telling all this is pay to play. It's going to continue throughout. For the next 5 years, these guys will get rich overnight.
Okay. The question is whether there will be balance of power.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go back to the topic. Yes.
Yeah. I believe there will be balance of power. But at the same time, what Paul said, the question is whether there will be balance. Yeah. What Paul said, I think it makes sense. People might be compromised. And why do I say so? Let's go back last week. Today is Tuesday. Last Friday, we were just discussing Yeke Koluba here, where Yeke Koluba promised and swear that he and the president-elect would never sit down under the same roof, because he insisted that the president-elect should tell the Liberian people where he got our money from to donate it. And then Yeke also promised that he was going to come the week before. He was going to come to expose who sent the president-elect's son to Sierra Leone, the other one to wherever. And he did come according to a promise and said it. And he swore in a press conference that he and the first president or the president-elect will never sit under the same roof. And what happened? Yeke Koluba met with the president-elect. The president-elect placed a call to him according to information that we are getting, and Yeke Koluba and him are on good terms. Now, I'm not saying this to say that Yeke was supposed to stand by his word and disrespect the president by not the president-elect by not meeting him. No. So you cannot trust anybody in that house. I told you something earlier on. All of these people want to get closer to the executive. They need appointments in their districts. They need to prepare for now for the next election. So they need the good side of the executive. So if you can cooperate with the executive, come on, example, Yeke and we are, they were not on good terms. So Yeke always complain about development not going to his district. See, because the executive will say, "Oh no, leader man and senator man want to challenge me with teaching sense." So, but in other words, if you look at the actual composition of the both houses, there should be balance of power. Because why? You have the speakership in the opposition, and you have the president pro tem in the ruling party, and so there should be balance of power. If the executive wants something done, they must make sure that the lower house can agree. And how do they do that? They have to be in good rapport with the opposition leader or the opposition party person who is the speaker, or else the speaker can use influence and they can block whatever they want to do. So this is where the balance of power lies. The executive got power, and so the legislature too, they got power. So right there are two branches of government. So right there, they are balanced. They got to come to a compromise in everything that they will do. Instead of what we saw in the real government, where when the executive said this, it just happened without any opposition, without any objection. But this trip, it is expected. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it is expected, given the structure, given the build-up of the structure, it should happen. I don't see what will happen unless people want to be compromised. Yes, that's the only way it will not happen. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt that the opposition controls the house, the lower house, and the executive is there. So whatever the executive wants should be agreed to by the opposition. But if not, if somebody wants to be compromised, then nothing will happen. That's what I can say.
Yeah. Paul, the question I want to bring to you guys, like my point is, like, I just want to reiterate on this is, will they be compromised in the long run after this 1 year, 2, 3 years? Liberian will be forgetting about them. They'll just flow. Will they not be giving the brown envelope? Paul just said brown envelopes was introduced by the president-elect and still going on. It has become the culture of the day in the Senate, in the House, where we saw a pay to play, where the exchange of hands of some representing were representing were accusing the president-elect of giving them money to vote for his candidate. At some point, and we also understand that some years, I mean, a year or two, there was an issue of 30,000 benefit given to those representatives were complaining they're not getting that money. All about money. If exchanging envelopes could make them to compromise, is it? Don't you think it's going to happen, or will they stand their ground and fight for the cause they are there for?
So it is an interesting question, though. And do you know why people fight to go into the house in Liberia?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, if you become a representative or a senator, in 6 years, you're a millionaire. People go in because why? They get everything free. So if you go into the house and you're getting $7,000 a month, and you're getting free, how they call it, car, telephone, all of these things add up. Then they give you free $30,000 for agriculture break, or what kind of break they give. And then you have opposition in a lower house that you want to push something. And what you want to push, when they deny you, this is where the brown envelope comes to play. Those who not part of that opposition bloc, say the CDC, for example, to get your policy to go through, it will have to be the brown envelope you're referring to. So yes, in reality, this guy in the long run, from the start, it will look good. You remember our most famous and popular senator, Darren DeLong, the light that say he was going in the hall to put the light on. After 3 months, what happened? The light got caught. It went dim. So and these hungry lions that are gone into the house, they're gone there for a purpose. These guys gone to enrich themselves. So if you don't get rich after 6 years, they put you out. What become? You become beggar. So the brown envelope thing, it will play a significant part years to come. Not even long term. Just in the first 100 days, you see things will start happening. If they can start by pay to play now, then think of what will happen tomorrow.
Right. The question I want to say, in 2007, Edwin Snow was elected as Speaker of the House. It was a short term. Yeah. That was almost like a departure from traditional politics in Liberia, because he was part of the CDC at the time when the Unity Party was in charge, right? So people will hail that as a departure from traditional politics to a triumph for the opposition, but he was short-lived. Now, from that time, the ruling party been rolling the House up to present. So can we consider this other election of the opposition being in the House as another way, a departure from traditional politics, where there'll be no exchange of brown envelope, and there'll be a proper rule of law, and the very House of Representatives, Senator will do what they should be doing, like oversight over developments of the various constituencies. I'm just saying that there's a hope for. Is there a hope for Liberians because of the opposition in the House? Or is this a chance that at some point they'll be compromised? I just want you to say on this: will they be compromised, or is there a hope for Liberians because of the composition of the House at the moment?
It could be a hope for Liberia based on the leadership of the lower house, Fanati Kofa. Okay. The way he will proceed. If he go on a very good foot and set the standard, You have other new lawmakers in there too that are wealthy, most ability. He get money.
But he was defeated by Thomas Fowler for deputy position.
Yeah, so these guys.
Why margin? You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. But I just gave you an example. Some of them in there, they have money. The young man, Tai One-Way, for example, who just got in there, he also have his own catch. For those people, money will not influence them based on the leadership style of Fanati Kofa, how he will handle things. But if it start going the other way, there are also a lot of hungry lions within there. And in Liberia, the politician in Liberia, they're not truthful. They may say something now and tomorrow they do the obvious. So we can only hope. We can only hope for Mama Liberia. But another thing is you need to look at, they just change the seat around. So you sitting here today, then tomorrow we swap seats. So it's just swapping seats. The way they swap seat, would that make any difference? These are all old crooks that have just swapped seat. Linford, you can chime in.
Yeah, before Linford comes, just for the benefit of for the conversation, why don't we all give our perspective? Let's believe that the change of the House going to the opposition will give our hope that it will be holding the government accountable to ensure checks and balances, you know, for the respective parties and the constituencies, because it's all about your various regions you're representing. So in the long run, there will not be compromise. But Linford, I keep bringing to Linford because Linford been around this for over 30 years. So you know how to play the game in that country. Linford, just enlighten us. The chance of these opposition going with the flow, not ensuring accountability against the government, the ruling party. After some point, money exchange of hands in a low on the table, Brownville exchange hand. And another thing Paul just said, the president-elect put a call to Honorable Yaka Kolba. Now he was he was ranting a couple of days ago. Now he's gone quiet. Why is not telling us that the president have spoken to, if it did happen? Why is he telling us the president-elect has spoken to him? Because and tell the press conference now we've understood them and then clear the air. Why are we holding him? Why he's not saying anything? I would love to know if the president did call him. He should be able to tell us what happened so far. We might not know the detail. We should also be able to. I want you to comment this also, Linford and Paul. Why is he not talking to us? What the president put a call to him and he was shouting at the president, we're not telling him some things that we need to know. And he's not. If he's the people's representative. Linford?
Okay, let me put it this way. Paul said something that I just want to build up on.
Okay.
Trust is the problem that we have in the house and probably in Liberia as a whole. And since most people who work in government, especially at the highest level, do not have any other hope of getting any job anywhere, they got no qualifications to work anywhere, or probably the lack of jobs in the country, government being the biggest employer, you see that people will wear two different types of garments. They will wear their natural garment, which is their natural self. Then they will also tend to disrobe themselves and take on a different posture where they will become corrupt in order to live. So the thing is, you cannot wholly and solely trust these people, because one day they will say, I'll do this, the next minute they're doing something else. The Yaka Kolba thing is an example. You think Yaka Kolba will come here and trust me and I believe him? No. You see, a lot of people don't trust them anymore. So that's all I can say for now.
Oh.
Yeah. Yaka have to come out and clear the air, because he said he would not sit going forward. He and the president would not sit under the same roof. He said it. So if he got a call, he need to come and tell the people what the call is all about. That transparency. He started this. to tell us that, yeah, the president-elect is taking money and doing this, doing that, and not what the Liberian people elected for. They elected him for. So if he had a call, he need to come back and say, now, we clear the air, me and he can sit down under the same roof and let him explain to the Liberian people what was the discussion.
Right.
If he failed to do that, then I think nobody should believe him.
Right. Guys, I think we've gone through almost 2 hours on this section of the platform, and we just noticed I've got a final comment that our guest was not coming up because of some technical issue. We do apologize. We hope everything goes well in Liberia because it was some LLC. He couldn't get some electricity stops going through for him, so he couldn't have the opportunity to join us tonight. Probably we'll have another section where you come and talk to us and give us some details what happened in Liberia. But anyway, that was Jala Aloysius from Jala TV Liberia should have been with us tonight to discuss some issues, more especially review of the Liberian daily newspapers, and also give his perspective on what's happening in Liberia as a journalist. Paul,
let me add something that Lynn for us going forward. Jala will be joining also as regular panelist on this program. So we have discussed. So that will be looking forward to his contribution as well.
Right, guys, thank you very much for that update. And another thing we want to let you know, well, before we take a leave, guys, I think we spent almost an hour here now. I would like the gentleman to go around and give a last comment, if you like, what you're going to leave us with until we see again on a Tuesday. That was you can go around from Paul or Linford. Tell her what you got to tell us before take a leave of our guest. If our audience.
Wow. First, for those of you who following up for the first time, if you on Jala TV, this is the Bottom Line Liberia discussion. We hear every Tuesday and Friday. Just click on the red button whenever it comes on, you'll be notified. So I see a beginning of a new Liberia in a sense that we have interesting people that been elected into office. And the expectation of Liberians on the ground is high. People are hopeful. And let us remain hopeful. And we have a ruling party and an opposition party, and we will see whether this is how Liberia should be governed. That from the lower house to the executive, it will be interesting how this is going to play out. In regards to the court case, the lawsuit against Fanatic Kofa, I think the government should not waste their time because in Liberia we have a saying, say, if you pull rope, pull bush. Everyone have trouble doing a civil crowd, say the wholesome set of document. Yeke Kolumba, who been vocal lately, he have residency in Dubai. Nobody know what he have in a passport. So everybody have some sort of paper. The president-elect told us that his both parents came from Sierra Leone. So you cannot hold Fanatic Kofa who both parents are crew. He is a Liberian. So whatever happened during the war, people travel here and there, the whole citizenship. We have a dual citizenship in Liberia. Let's have a better governing system. Let's have a better system that should be check and balance, not because you wanted Paul to be in the position, they defeated Paul, now you're taking lawsuit, but that is Paul also have dual citizenship. So we should have a better government and let look forward and be hopeful that, hey, Mama Liberia, maybe something good will come from all of this. And I hope so. So, yeah.
Mr. Gore.
You muted.
For me, all I can say is to the ruling party, or to the opposition party, CDC especially, because this is what the battle for the speakership was all about, to balance power in the House so that the executive cannot have all of the power. So now that this power is in your hand, you need to prove to the Liberian people that your fight was genuine, that you fought for a cause, that you saw something that you didn't want, and that's why you fought. No, listen, there is no fight in vain. If you fight, you either fight for something or something is fighting for you.
Yeah.
If you have a fight. Yeah, or maybe a woman with very good business, man. So all I can say, we hope to see that balance of power working. The reason why this whole fight went on, when I mean fight, it's not physical fight, political fight to gain control of the speakership, and the CDC got it, or the opposition got it. And I will also urge other opposition parties in the House to cooperate with the CDC, because in any case, we are all opposition. You are all opposition now for the next 6 years. So if you let CDC alone do the fighting, and then you think you can side with the ruling party, if anything goes wrong tomorrow, you all go back to status quo and you start to campaign individually again or collectively to move the same government. So if you are in opposition, whether you were rivals before, you got to conglomerate. You got to, come together, try to bring that balance of power. Do not let the executive sweep everything. That means you are being there, it's not for your salary, and you will confirm what Liberians have been saying, that you are nothing, you're just there to get your money and whatever. And this thing about the house being corrupt, I think in a way this myth is not a myth, but this accusation will be clear is when you guys in the house come out clear and prove to the Liberian people that what they have been suspecting or alleging is not true. And how do you do that? That is, you stand up, speak for them, refuse the brown envelopes. Where you see the law is applicable, apply the law. Where you see the government is going wrong, hold them accountable. But if you just agree to everything, then that means you are guilty of the allegation. And the good thing is, like I say again, the balance of power is, the land is ruined already. We know that the opposition got it. And so the executive will not sweep anything unless you want to be compromised. Like I said, unless you want to be compromised. You see it? No, listen, there is a story about the slaves. If you got two types of slaves, one of them is working outside in the field and one of them is living in the house, the one that working outside will always complain. But the one in the house will say, my man, just forget it. Because he know what he enjoying, but he know the pain you're feeling out there. You see? So the in-house slave will always feel that, my man, let that thing be. So if you know that you are opposition and you're in a house, make sure that you join the opposition group, and whatever the government wants to do that is not right, you all fight against it. But if you think that you opposition, but you can get some brown envelope from the ruling party, and when CDC people, or when the other opposition people talking, say, my man, not just sit down, not just bear. It says you're not long. That means you are the in-house slave, and the outside slave they're suffering. You can feel that pain. So you got to all work together, and let's see this balance of power working. For nothing cover, you fall for this thing. In fact, they're dragging you to court. We don't know whether you survive the court case, but just in case you survive, make sure that you show them that the fight that you fought was not in vain. And then convince the Liberian people. This is what we've been yearning for, that we should have balance of power in the hub. Because all our administration, look at my own MPP administration, Taylor administration, the president pro tem was handpicked. Grace Mano, she was appointed. Can you imagine? So when I hear people say, oh, this is the first time our lady becoming president pro tem, no, it's not true. Grace Mano was president pro tem. But the only difference between she and Yomli Kanga right now is that Yomli Kanga was elected. Okay? But Grace Mano was not elected. She was appointed. So in that kind of case, tell me what will happen. And I think, who was this man? Nyondwa Mokomla, if I'm not mistaken, was also the speaker. Was it Nyondwa Mokomla? He was the speaker. And they all come from the MPP camp. So that was like the executive were controlling everything. And this is different from what we have now, where you have the executive having the pro tem, and then the speaker is with the opposition. So this is time for you, opposition, to prove your strength. Thank you.
Once again, I want to thank you very much for those who've been with us. We just want to recap. We're looking at the speaker's positions in the House, Senate Pro Tempore in the House of Liberia, House of Legislature. And now, we want to say a big thank you to my colleagues, Linford Gue, sitting in Norway, and my friend and brother, Paul Chilipe in London. We'll just give you a little bit of what happened. We're looking at the story today, some newspaper headlines in Liberia, media that made news. We're especially looking at the whole story was around the speaker election position in Liberia. The speaker position was won by an opposition. First time since 2007 when Edwin Snow was the speaker, and which was short-lived. Now, yesterday, Funati Kufa was elected as Speaker of the House, and the Senate Pro Temp is being taken by the ruling party. So we were looking at the balance of power in the House, in the Liberian House. So we believe that everything go good for Liberia. We work well for Liberia. Whatever we
expect, we can't believe that. Let's expect.
Let's expect and believe that it's going to go well. Let's wish well for Liberia. That's what we're thinking here. I don't care what you do. We make our perspective, but Liberia is what we get. This is behind every one of us. So we on this platform, we always make our own perspective. Don't hold up our personal belief or personal opinions. It is what it is. We are Liberians. We're going to make our own opinions here, whether you like it or not. This is it. So we also want to invite you, wherever you are, to send it across your opinions, your contribution. We want to thank those who contributed to this program tonight. I can't call all the names. So a lot of them came through from various channels, sending out there, contributing to making comments. So we say a big thank you for joining us every Tuesday and Friday. We're here, right here on this place, on the bottom line. We also do, just by word of reminder, we are also on our radio as well as YouTube, Facebook, and also on X. We're on that every time we come alive. So we want your contribution. Don't forget, Liberia is on top of everything. Liberia is behind every one of us. Whatever we say, we're in the interest of Liberia. What my colleagues have been saying here is critiquing the government. We know and we believe, and we also hope that the government that came to power will do better for Liberia, and the suffering of Liberia will stop. I think this is what we want. By this note, I want to say a big thank you for joining wherever you are. And we want to say a big thank you to Jala Aloysius, who made an attempt to join today, but it's not possible. I also understand you're going to be with us continuously to be a host on this show. And all those who join us from Jala Television, so thank you for joining us wherever you are. We want to wish you a pleasant evening from Europe.